Welcome to Chapter 4, Designing a Layout with InDesign. In this chapter, we'll learn how to use Adobe InDesign and delve into its tight integration with other Adobe software such as Photoshop and Illustrator. In addition to learning the fundamentals of InDesign, we'll also explore how to prepare your InDesign files for EPUB formats as well as web formats. Let's get started. In this lesson, we'll take a look at the interface, some of the tools, and some of the common panels that you'll work with almost every time you work in InDesign. Let's start by creating a new document. I've already got one open, but let me show you what to do also. If you go to the File menu and you go to New, this is where you can create a new document by clicking here. When the New Document panel opens, you can say how many pages that you want and if you would like facing pages. I think for now, if you go with anywhere from 1 to 10, you'll be fine, but go with a few so you can actually see your facing pages when we check out the Pages panel. I'll hit Cancel for now, but you go ahead and click New. When your new document opens, it's very handy to go ahead and open the Pages panel so you can verify exactly what just happened. If you open the Pages panel, and what we'll do is we'll stretch it out a little bit toward the bottom, you'll see all of the pages that were just created in the new dialog box. For me, it was 10. For you, it may be something else, or it might be 10. Let's take a quick step back and talk about some of the tools. If we look over to the left, I'm going to click this little arrow in the top to get a double strip of tools, and you're going to see a wide variety of tools in InDesign. Now, InDesign is a vector-based program. It is not intended to create graphics. We'd always use Photoshop or Illustrator to create our graphics, and then we would bring them into InDesign. I think of InDesign as our workhorse. That's where we bring it all together and get our document ready for print, the web, or perhaps even a mobile device. If we look here at some of the tools, some of these will be very familiar to you if you use any of the other Adobe apps. We have the Selection tool and the Direct Selection, and some other vector-based tools that you'll see here. Now, InDesign is a vector-based program just like Illustrator. Anything that you create in InDesign, whether it's an object or a frame or whatever else, is going to be a vector-based object. That's why you see things like the Direct Selection tool and the Pen tool. Now, in the next lesson, we're going to talk about creating frames. When you're ready to bring your artwork or perhaps your text or anything else into your InDesign layout, you're going to use these icons here, the Rectangle Frame tool and also the Type tool, to create your frames that you are going to place other things into, whether it be type or graphics, Photoshop files or Illustrator files or whatever else. If you look down in the bottom part of the Tools panel, you're going to see a fill color and a stroke color. That's because when we have a vector object and you want to put a stroke, you'll click here on the bottom. If you want to add fill, you'll make sure that this box is on the top, and then you can fill your vector object with a fill color or a stroke color. Along the top, you're going to see the Files menu. If you go all the way over to the right, you're going to see Window. Now, Window is where you can clean up your workspace, and it's also where you're going to find a variety of panels. Some of those may be opened and some may not. If you need to open a panel that isn't docked over to the right or opened already, you'll go here to the Window menu, you'll find the panel that you want to open, click one time, and then that panel is open. If you change your mind and want to close it, no problem, you can do that as well. Now, some of the panels that you'll use all the time in InDesign, one of those is the Pages panel. We're going to talk about master pages in an upcoming lesson. Another panel is the Links panel. We'll use that a lot because anytime you place a graphic into InDesign, you actually create a link to it because it will reside somewhere else, and you'll be able to manage your placed files here in the Links panel. And then you're going to see that we have a Layers panel. The Layers panel is very common in Adobe applications, and that'll be important if you start adding things to your document and things overlap, or one object might hide behind another object. Well, if you look around in the Layers panel, you can change the stacking order of your objects. And these are just 3 of the panels that we're going to use in InDesign as we move forward with the rest of our lessons. But for now, just finding your way around the workspace, being able to set up a new document, knowing where the Pages panel is a great start. In the next lesson, we're going to talk about creating frames, both text frames and graphics frames, and then we'll place things into those frames.